Thank you. I guess I should call this meeting to order because it is 6:31.
Yeah. Yes.
And James Salmons is on his way. Hi, Jim. SAMMONS. He is also not a member. Well, he's a volunteer, but not a committee member. He just retired. He doesn't want to. Well, in September. All right, so that looks like everybody. Nice group. Thank you all for coming. First thing that we're going to do is I'd like somebody to move to approve the minutes of November 2nd.
Who did that?
Aline.
Let me do
So Aline moved, seconded by Nancy Codian. All in favor of approving November's minutes, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
1, 2, 3. Okay, so that's 4 of us. 4-0-0. There's nobody opposed because everybody said aye of the 4 people members who were here. Yeah, it's unanimous, right?
I'm sorry. One quick question, Cindy. Is Missy House a member?
She's a volunteer.
She's a volunteer also. Okay, thank you.
A member.
Yes. We're all members of this wonderful organization, but yeah. So just Nancy, myself,
Aline,
Bruce, and Aline.
and you. Yeah. Gotcha.
So those are the voting members.
Yes.
People who can vote. All right. Hello, everybody. Happy New Year. Long time no see.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, it looks great. It's a long time when we have a break, but thank you for being kind to me and allowing me to hibernate. I guess we'll go right into communication. And I've got a couple communications, believe it or not. First one is from Mark Berry. And I'm going to talk more about that under unfinished business NIPS because he has a request for some money, and I think it's going to fall under the NIPS proposal. And does anybody else have any communications they want to share with us?
No.
Yes, I noticed on the Groton website that the Bridge Street Getaway project, which is happening off Route 1, which is at that point probably already 12. I don't know exactly where.
Right, exactly. Yeah,
But and if you go down on the left on Bridge Street, it goes back to 95. So this area is a big project, and there is a communication meeting on February 8th. This project started in 2023 with a bunch of meetings that I never was aware of, but apparently there's one coming up February 8th.
What are they doing?
They're redoing the entire area, transforming that into appealing and more functional intersection.
Where? Groton City, though.
It's a city.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's going to affect everybody traveling on 12 and getting in, out, or in 95. So if you're interested, I think.
Excuse me? I'm sorry, I did not catch, Aline, where this meeting is taking place or what it's
No, I was trying to find out where it was and I couldn't.
Okay, what is it concern? I did not catch that. It was
the project is called Bridge Street Getaway Project.
Bridge
Thank you.
Street Getaway Project. Meetings on February 8th, and I imagine if you called the city administration, they could tell us more about it. Thank you.
And there was also a report that the borough's field restroom project is up to bid, and they opened the bid January 11th, so that's going to be in progress.
That's the Calvin Burrows field?
Right.
Okay.
So eventually we may have communication from Zoe, for example, if she still wants to involve.
That will be, I talked with Mark Berry, that
Yeah.
to get it ADA compliant, I believe it's the bathroom
Right.
and the snack area,
Right.
and what else is there that they would need to
I
make
don't
ADA?
know, for the bid opening, I think it's just the bathroom.
Just the bathroom, okay, all right.
And this
All
is
right.
at the boroughs.
Calvin
Yeah.
Burrows Field, yeah, where the baseball field is. Okay,
And the RTM has approved the money for the Sutton Park that day, January meeting. So, you know.
The whole Sutton project.
Yeah,
They approved.
with the increased amount, right?
how much was it? I didn't see any of that.
1.4, yeah.
So that includes the state park renewal,
I would imagine it includes everything by now.
which I guess was
I don't know
underwater.
how many times they can go back to the.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah, lovely. Okay, thank you. Anybody else? Missy?
I only get like complaints. Sorry. I only get comments
Uh-huh.
from the, from people. One is that the litter is out of control now, especially when you get off.
Where?
When you get off the highway, I was told to look there, right across from the Beachbody Health Center and in that little area.
Yeah, where they're
Coming-
doing all the
Yeah,
redoing, there's the other,
and then coming up the hill towards the high school, there's just a lot of litter, and I said, well, I'm sorry, but I don't think we kick, we don't work, we don't do that. We're not the litter police, but
Mhm.
we'll certainly pass that on,
mm-hmm.
and,
And again, that's a state, we've talked about this so many times, that area is a state property, and we need to report
But
more often.
I don't want to report, if somebody sees something, yeah, we are not, but I'm wondering if the person the guy who I just,
I did talk to him
wonder
about
if
that.
I mean, that is a state road, right? So, I mean, anybody can go and pick up trash in those areas on the sidewalk, but anything close to the road, but I've been getting a lot of that too, and we'll talk about that under the NIP, proposals and things, because, there seems to be a lot of complaints. I've gotten quite a few also about litter, and I don't really think that that's what we're supposed to be in charge of. We can't clean up all the towns, but we're gonna do our Adopt a Road program on a specific road, and I think that people need to start adopting roads and getting what doesn't take but a handful of people to do it 1 mile, section.
I also should have a name that I can send them to. So I don't know whether we can come to an agreement, what name or what department I can send them to.
Public Works.
I don't know,
Pretty good.
but did you?
You gotta call the state. They're the only people that have anything to do with that stuff. Had several conversations with them. and-
Yeah, I have your email here that I'm gonna read under the NIP,
Okay,
update new proposals, Bruce.
Okay, and then I have one more suggestion,
Okay,
from a couple of people that are in this committee. I won't mention the committee's name, but they suggest that we perhaps plant trees on the corner of Depot and Fort Hill Road, where they're across the street from the ice cream shop,
mm-hmm.
to kind of block
Right in that yard, maybe, I don't know.
And they said, beautification, don't you see this? Don't you go by this place? I sit there by the light, and it's an ever place that needs beautification, so close to the town hall. This is what needs it.
Mhm.
So I don't know if that's our purview, if that's our area to address, but
The whole
Very
problem with
delicate.
planting trees is who's going to water it. So maybe if there's enough space, there's not a lot of space between the sidewalk and that individual fence. I do look, I do wonder, not only, planting trees, as you've been saying, Missy, is good for everything. It's good for shade, it's good for water uptake, and it is good for beautification.
privacy too.
Right. I mean, much less just looking nice. Yeah, right, exactly. But
Excuse me?
if there is a certain amount of space there,
Excuse me?
Yes,
I could not hear everything. Are you talking about the corner of Depot Road, did you say, and Fort Hill?
yes,
Okay, thank you.
right near the,
Yes, no, I know the property.
yeah.
It's an eyesore.
Yes. So, that is an interesting proposition. I'm finding we have had such good success with planting in the fall. If we could come up with an idea, what kind of trees, how many, and also is there space?
A hedge could work too.
But a hedge has to be trimmed and stuff. We want something that's, I don't want to just say low maintenance, I want to say basically no maintenance. You know, because could we get, and also are there any overhead wires? That would impact it. Because if we want to impact shade, water consumption, and beauty all at the same time, trees are much more efficient than shrubs.
Perhaps the owner would even, work with us, the owner of that house, you know,
Well, I don't know. I don't necessarily want to. I don't know. I'm feeling a little. If someone came to us.
So who's, because this goes back to with our friend Mr. Boucher came to our one meeting that we had at the Drive 55. And he brought the RTM person when we were talking about the fence. And they were upset that we'd even consider. Because
but I think a fence is different than a tree, don't you?
Well, that corner there, it's an issue of us. There's numerous vehicles that go in there. And they even park between the sidewalk and their street. So we'd be taking away.
they can't.
I've never seen a car there.
There's one there right now on the sidewalk.
In
front of
outside
the
of
house.
the fence?
Oh, yeah, all the time. So.
Well, so anyways, I don't want to talk about that. I would like to talk about the idea of planting trees there, which is a possibility if there's enough space, enough soil to plant a tree, because Parks and Rec will dig us a hole. They will. If we buy the trees and we pick the trees and we get the approval for the trees, and if there's enough space, that actually, I believe, is a doable project, especially to go along with our goal of making it a more sustainable town.
And maybe tying it in with Johnson's Harbor, we talked about that.
That
It's not, we're pointing out this one particular property, that we're taking on this
whole area, that area.
so that it just kind of
Yes.
uses that
Yes,
building.
once again, some trees, and once again, we may get some pushback and they like the view. The state likes the view. Don't get in the way of my view. Don't put any darn old trees in the way. But we can certainly chat.
The view
I'll
for what view?
I'll take measurements at that corner as well as the grass area between Dairy Queen and alongside.
Yeah, I talked with him a couple of years ago, and he was amenable to planting trees there, but it was never like, because the state right of way is a certain number of inches in from the edge of the road. So you'd have to be on his side of the property. The other thing I've noticed, because I keep looking at that area, some people back in there, especially large trucks, and they back in and say the edge of the asphalt is here. And I was thinking the trees are here, like people back in and they would run into a tree. So it's like, how would we prevent that?
Do we need to vote on this as a committee, that's going to be a project we're going to pursue, or we're just going to talk about it?
No question. The town just did an inventory of all the trees.
Right.
Are they just,
It's a report.
there should be a report, and are they suggesting some areas where we need to plant, or what kind of tree needs to be planted where, or what is the report? What is this report saying before we actually try?
If you go to the Park and Rec, I just did this, I was looking for something else, not that. You go to the Town of Groton website and click on, it says Department, Park and Rec. They actually list all these different reports. And one is the tree inventory, and one is the master plan. So, I don't think we need to vote on anything. We really have to vote on money things, but
But I think we ought to set some priorities because we're just starting out the year.
Right, but goals are later, but this is still going back to what we're still in communications. And communications are, we need some trees in certain areas for many different reasons. And I think we could get behind that.
Okay, we'll prioritize it another time.
Yeah, no, we're doing goals at the end tonight,
Okay,
okay? But, so, yeah,
fabulous.
absolutely. Anything else on the communication?
When do we want to discuss the meeting that Zoe's planning on getting the teams together and, for projects, and they're looking to help us out as possible? And tying into the borough's wheel.
Right, which actually,
So if that's later, I'll keep my mouth shut.
I actually,
So we had, Cindy, per you, I had the conversation with Erica that said we will, in the spring, that we'll be meeting her down there to see what her vision is.
all right, I actually forgot to put that on my agenda, and I'm very sorry. Let's put that under new business.
Okay.
Sharon, can you can stay for the whole meeting?
Yeah.
Okay, good. You're not going off to have a
Pickleball.
Yeah, pickleball.
No.
Nighttime golf. Yeah. All right, excellent. Let's don't let Cindy forget, because I didn't get that on there. I'm so sorry. And I do have something to add to that, which might be helpful too. Very quickly, our treasurer's report from last month, November, very similar numbers. We have not spent any money from what we call our donation account, Meredith. That's the money that we have earned and we can spend, and it never goes away until we spend it.
Okay.
Versus the town council money, which needs to be spent by the middle of June every year. So
I'm sorry, Cindy, you're saying the donation account still stands at 5631.89,
yes, you're on it, girl.
and the town council allotted amount 2788.32 needs to be spent by June.
Yes, and it's a little bit less than that. I once again, sorry, I think we spent like $63 on greens for downtown Mystic, but that's, so I said we have about 2,700 left that needs to be spent by mid-June. And I'm sorry I don't have those exact numbers, but I knew there was only just one thing that we spent money on right now. All right. Let's go on to unfinished business. And the first thing I have in there is the NIPS update / new proposal. And I have something I wanted to bring up first, if you guys don't mind. I know I talk all the time. But I got a communication from Mark Berry. He is putting together a call to artists to create artistic wraps. And Meredith, I have this email if you'd like me to send you the whole thing or just take down the gist. But
If you would send it to me, I'll just pick and choose a brief synopsis.
Thank you. All right. I'll write it down right here. All right, call the artists to create artistic wraps around the solar-powered trash compactors. And we had talked about this previously. They have this in New London. There is an additional cost for the wrap, which we will absorb. Our call to the artist proposal would include a $300 stipend if the artist's artwork was selected to be printed on the compactors. We are planning to install 5 compactors. 2 at Pequannock Plain, 2 at Esker Point Beach, and 1 at Sutton Park, although that Sutton Park may be actually Calvin Burrows. They have been changed. But anyway, there will be 5 compactors that they are purchasing, the town is purchasing. Attached are potential artistic themes. My proposal would be for the beautification committee to consider covering the cost of the artist's stipend. That would be $1,500. The beautification committee would be recognized in all the promotional material that was generated throughout the project. They are working with the graphic designer to create the promotional pieces. This would be a great way for the beautification committee to get repeated exposure while the project was ongoing and after. We would also like someone from the beautification committee to be part of the selection committee. And then he sent me a list of proposed themes. Once again, I'll forward that to you,
Thank you.
Meredith, but you certainly don't, it's a whole page, so you don't need to include the whole thing. But if any, I brought it for anybody to read, and certainly, Bruce, if you were interested, I could forward it to you, the proposed, his proposed.
Do we have pictures of this? What is it? Trash compactor.
Trash compactor, they've been installed in downtown Mystic. There's 2 in front of Bank Square Book. There's 2 in front of the parking area, right in front of the public bathroom in downtown Mystic. However, that's a twosome. You have one side for trash and one side for recycling. They are not doing the recycling half. They are doing just the trash half because he doesn't have good, but we're just going with the trash half. We can be guaranteed that there's trash in there, whereas we can't be guaranteed that there's recycling in the recycling one. So it would be, there will be, yes, so they're right in front of Bank Square Book. There's 2 big square ones in Mystic. Yes, they are not wrapped, they are not pretty. They can be wrapped. They can be made.
There's no picture of anyone. I have to go to New London to see it, right? If there's one that's.
No, well, I mean, in
one
New London, each one is different, but you just, it's an artwork around it.
So I have to go there to see a pretty, an example of.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, you would. So anyway, yes?
I would like that. You know, you'll recall, but I've been trying to get that information from the city of New London on how they went about, who they got to do the actual, not the artwork, but putting it together like 3M kind of stuff, where they wrap it.
Well, you know what? I talked with Mark, and this is what happened is Mark went over there, as did you, and saw it, and he's like, hey, great. And I don't know how he did it, but he got the person, they got put in touch with it's a committee, I believe. Yeah. And he took has all their information, so he didn't have to, hi, Joe Dela Cruz. Do you want to be on our meeting?
No.
No?
This will be my 3rd meeting.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, excuse you then. Would you like a chocolate?
Absolutely.
All right.
Look at that. I get the benefits.
That's right. That's right. All right. Good to see you.
Yeah, that's great, because I talked to that guy. His name is Reyes.
Well, anyways.
YES. I couldn't get anything out of him. So if Mark got the information, that's terrific.
So, and that was fantastic, because that's what we want is partnerships, right? He'll do all the work. He put out, he'll do the call to artists. What he's asking for us is to fund it. And I believe that we could take, if we need to, this is something we definitely need to vote on. If it's $1,500 for $300 for 5 different compactors. And if he receives the go-ahead from us, he will immediately he needs to have all his pieces of the puzzle together.
Mm-hmm.
I would love for him to partner with us and for him to get all of this going. And then it really does help us by getting art out there, which is exactly what we wanted.
I'll make a motion that we appropriate $1,500 for this project with the town.
Okay, it's been moved by Bruce, seconded by Aline, to release $1,500 to the Parks and Rec Department for artwork on the trash compactors. Is there discussion?
No, is this just for the artists, or does this include the wrap too?
They will pay for the wrap. This is just for the artist. This is the stipend just for the artwork. And then I believe there's a cost to put the artwork onto the wrap and then the wrap onto the trash can.
The wrap is the most expensive part, actually.
Right.
And it needs to be done professionally. It's not the
Yeah.
kind of thing that, we want to do.
Right.
Whoever we buy
Right.
the wrap from needs to do it so that
Right.
it looks good. But yeah, this is a good deal. Something we've been trying to get together with people on for quite a while. So yeah.
I agree.
Would you, again, repeat the motion? What I've got is a motion to approach Parks and Recreations to spend $1,500 to wrap, including artwork, five of these
trash-
compactors.
Yes,
Five
five
compactors.
trash compactors, yes, around town.
To reimburse artists.
Well, I believe we are going to give it to Parks and Rec, and then Parks and Rec will distribute it. Yeah.
Thank you.
So will the Mystic cans be decorated also? Or right now, more?
This is only on the parks. So if that was something, if they had success with this, we might be able then, especially imagine if, I don't know, we already have the compactors in Downtown Mystic. I don't know how much the wrapping is, but obviously we can find out throughout this process. And maybe if we had lots of good artists, maybe we could steal some of them for Downtown Mystic.
I can work with Mark on that and get all that information.
Yeah.
Because I've got to work with him on the other art pieces that are going into the parks anyway.
Yeah.
So, it's easy.
We asked that our logo be included in some of the, that is, if we are contributing something like that.
Well, we can use that, whoever volunteers from the committee to go on the other committee.
But
Yeah, just
I would volunteer because I get all the trash calls for some reason. So I would love to be on that committee to pick the artwork, unless you think that perhaps I don't want to step on Bruce's. Are you saying that you wanted to do them? Not quite sure I understood. It could be either me or you. I'd give it up to you if you wanted it.
Well, you mean for the compactors?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'd love to do that, sure.
Yeah, let me see what the time frame is. You'll be back in April?
Well, yeah, and I can tie up with them earlier than that too. In fact, I have to talk with them about some other stuff. So
Okay.
it's the kind of thing you can do from a distance too.
I did mention to him that you would probably be interested. So he of course was not surprised to hear that, Bruce. Awesome. Okay, so any more discussion? All right, so we are now going to vote on the motion. All in favor of spending $1,500 for 5 artist renderings that will be applied to trash compactors, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, that's 4. That's all 4. That's unanimous. All 4 of us decided. So that vote, the motion carries. I think that's a fantastic project, and we get to support it. But I think Park and Rec is going to be doing all the work. So thank you all. All right. I will forward that to you and to Meredith information.
Thank you.
All right. Once again, we are still continuing to talk about NIPS. I will bring up, no action needs to be taken on this yet, but the town council has been talking about working together, trying to partner with us on a NIPS collection and buyback program. That is all I know right now. I'm just mentioning it because it's been referred to us. The town council will flesh it out. It might just be that we would be asked to volunteer if we wanted to and get it out on our social media and kind of speak about it and get it out there to the community, so that the community knows that if the program's going to be implemented, we would be supportive of it. So I'm just putting that out there now, and then when more comes to me, I will share it with you.
what's the name of that program, collection?
It's a NIPS buyback program. Yes, town NIPS buyback program, and it would be by weighing them. It wouldn't be like 1 NIP, 2 NIP, 3 NIP. We'd have to get the average weight of a NIP, and then people could bring them back. I believe. I think that's.
What is a NIP?
Gosh, that's stupid.
Okay.
Because as a person who's been walking along roads,
Uh-huh,
I've started walking dogs for rescue on Gunji Walk.
okay,
I just got done with the 100-yard area,
uh-huh,
and it's maybe 2 nip bottles,
Okay, it is.
5 energy drinks, a couple beer cans,
uh-huh.
and that's it. It's not nip bottles. We have to stop the sale of nip bottles. It has to go to a bigger bottle.
Uh-huh.
Because, and it's not gonna, that's gonna have to be state level.
Yep.
We just got done, again, picking up the weekend wine from Grand Package. Right in front of Grand Package, people are throwing, my wife came back shaking her head. She said, I can't believe there's more nip bottles in that parking lot than there were the whole area I collected from Noank Ledger Road up to the firehouse in Mystic on Route 1.
Well, you know what? Then you took the picture, right? Which one of you took the picture and sent to me that
On the,
about the nip? It was in front of, it was in New London.
New London, yeah, on the hot square.
Yeah. So that maybe that's something once again, we're talking about NIP's proposal is a trash can dedicated to NIP and a poster right there. Because I don't know if people are sucking down the liquor and throwing it on the ground, are they going to care about throwing it away?
No.
I don't know.
No.
But however, maybe if it was so easy when we did Shirley and I worked at Par 4, we were doing all the landscaping and where the people come outside and smoke right on the deck there. Hundreds of cigarette butts. Yeah, they're just right there, and I'm just like, wow, this is really horrifying. So if there was a place to put them, maybe they'd put them in there.
But what's our role? I don't get our role.
Well,
I mean, why are we just said we're not all about trash, and now we're saying
right. Well,
Yeah, but the nip bottles is nip. So.
yeah. So the reason we got pulled into this is because we did research. We received the NIP funding. But I mean, if we could use that for landscaping and art projects, that's really what our focus is. But I just wanted to let you know that this is a possible proposal, and we may be asked to support it. But there may be, for people who have paid attention to this problem, we might be able to have more of an impact in a very specific spot, which is what you're telling me. That's what I'm.
Yeah, I'm looking like a sign instead, so we aren't doing a bunch of signs, nips, whatnot. The stupid things like, don't litter, your mom's watching.
Uh-huh.
That type of general sign
Uh-huh.
to take care of all litter would also include nips, but it wouldn't be breaking it down. It'd be fewer words on one sign
Okay.
versus the junk
Specific.
removal signs that are popping up everywhere now.
What? I'm sorry.
There's
Yes, Missy actually showed some of those to us, right? The tongue-in-cheek ones.
No, there's
general junk.
there's right now a junk removal company locally
Oh.
has flooded the area with lawn signs.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
anyway, I think as few, like you said before, you didn't like signs anyway. So if NIP funding could be used for a general, one unique trash sign
Mm-hmm.
versus a bunch of different ones, so we keep them limited and one catchy phrase for the whole town. No, well, people won't, but if with using the your mom's watching.
Yeah, the
After-
cute ones, the ones that are
No
like,
loitering, your
the ones
mom's
that are-
watching,
Yeah.
could be on a small sign that we could put on existing poles.
On the back side or one side or the other.
And with that's why I said the 4-way stop sign, and again, I wouldn't want to overdo those, because those can get ugly too.
Yeah.
But you start our key spots.
Yeah,
That could be part of one of our goals. We could like evaluate that as one.
yeah.
That
Well,
really
it's
would work.
just, it's hard because like Shirley and I, once again, we were working at par 4. There's, what, 20 signs in the parking lot, and don't park here, don't park there, handicapped only. Hey, there's, yeah, because I always try to go slowly by there so I can check out Shirley's wonderful work. And there's always cars. I can't ever see the plants behind the truck that's sitting there, and so I
The
just,
truck belongs to one of the people who work there.
right, I know.
And it's there every day.
Well, the one sign that might really help is if we had a sign that said there was a fine for throwing things out the window.
Yeah,
We
but
don't have
that's
that
not
at all.
true. I know, but that's not true. They're not gonna find, yeah, yeah.
You have to be
Yeah.
on. But there it is, maybe you might, for a second reflect if you saw that sign that there's
You're thinking,
$65 fine or
you're thinking
something.
the way you think and the way I think.
Uh-huh.
The way you
What are the
Yeah,
town
how these people are
signs?
thinking.
Yeah.
Just see how these people think.
Yeah.
It's so fair.
And every town has signs like that.
It'll,
I think we've been around this so many
Yeah,
times.
yeah,
I just throw one more thing in, is that we talked about getting to the younger people first. They're the ones who are gonna make a difference. I mean, if we're going to really try to make a difference as a beautification, maybe that's the audience we have to target and have them take the message home, have them take wherever, or have them become more aware. But let them take the message.
Well, the big fish, to
Okay.
answer your point, would be teaching, so that's a really good
Yeah.
thing.
Absolutely, but
But it's a thing, we might be able to, Zoe wants to have, she might be the person, if we get her involved with stuff they want to do, we have a
Oh.
youth rep
uh-huh,
that I assume she goes to Fitch. She's the one that could,
Yeah.
and she has that unique personality that I think she'd go up to the principal and say, hey, can we?
uh-huh,
Mhm.
yeah. And she's
Yeah.
got the,
And it,
okay, let's wait till we get to,
Let's
let's wait till we, yeah. But yeah, it is hard, because these things do,
Yeah.
and that's very good. That's very good, because, and that's kind of what she.
Yeah.
I help, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours, yeah, so that's fantastic. But sticking on the NIP update, I do have an email from Bruce, who I gave him some marching orders after our November meeting, and he immediately sent me an email. His communication with a woman who is she is, like, her actual job for the state is Adopt a Highway Litter Removal Service of America, Inc. So, what she said is, we provide 100% of the litter removal on your behalf for DOT requirements for safety reasons. They do not allow volunteers on the major highways for safety and insurance reasons. So there
Cindy,
are.
Cindy, would you send me a copy of that, please?
Oh, absolutely, sure.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. So, I'm gonna hold this for anybody who's there. So this is we currently have signs for $299 per month for the highway cleaning, with a one-time sign setup fee of $550 per sign. Discounts are made for multiple sign locations.
this is through the state.
This is through the state. There is
And where is it?
available on availability on I-95. It's a 60-inch by 48-inch by 54-inch. That doesn't make any.
That's like for 90.
It would be, we had talked about, he had talked about a specific area, on-ramp or off-ramp, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
So, it would be, to start it, $550 per sign, and then we're paying them a fee of $299 per month. They didn't say if there was any specific time frame
To
here,
do what?
to clean up that area.
Just that area.
Just
$800
that
higher
area.
stuff for company.
minimum.
There's only 2 companies in the state are allowed to do it.
Yeah. 1 year minimum. Elise believes it's 1 year minimum.
Bruce, what do you?
But this is, it doesn't say on here?
But
There is a 1-year minimum on it.
Okay, all right.
But, you know, we have so much money
Yeah.
in that NIPS account that it's a shame to not do anything with it. So this would be an avenue of approach to, and getting our, you know, our name out there too would be right up on I-95. So. Can't
Yeah.
beat
How far is the on-ramp do they clean?
I never got to that point with those folks, but we would have to use our bully pulpit to make sure that they did the ramps, because they're well aware what the problem is. But as they told me, they do it at their own whim. And so we would have to make sure that we were kind of on them to get this thing done more than a couple of times a year, that it was a real problem. And we can probably do that. We'd probably have to talk to some of our people that are legislators. I think they might be a benefit in this situation. But
Yeah.
sounds like a good deal. I mean, if we've got the money to
It's
spare.
$300 a month for 12 months minimum?
Yeah.
Or one ramp.
Yeah. Yeah.
No. That's for a
one time.
stretch of highway. That's for a whole stretch of highway,
Hi.
including the on and off ramps.
So we'd actually be cleaning up I-95?
We'd be cleaning up our on and off ramps. That's what we want to do. That's what we have to talk to them about specifically. What areas are involved? Yes.
All the on and off, you know, either.
Yeah, I don't know, that seems like a,
Somebody's got a good deal for you to say.
yeah, we're already paying our taxes, but, okay, so is there any
Listen,
discussion about?
The whole thing is ridiculous that they charge for that kind of thing.
Right.
But nonetheless, the only reason it's doable is because we have all this NIPS money. And if we don't use it, it goes away or just stays there.
I don't believe it goes away. I don't believe it does at this time, unless we say we aren't going to use this, but I don't think they just get to take it out of the account, seeing that we have some projects that we're working on. We do have money in there that seems like a very short-term solution. Does anybody have any comments on this?
I think we need more information, and it would be
Yep.
nice to sit with someone who is in charge, who has all the answers for us.
someone do a presentation.
What other
Yeah.
towns have done this? Does
Well,
Madison have
there's
this?
an
Do all these
800, there's
really
800.
good towns have this? I
Well-
don't think towns are paying to have their.
Well,
areas
if
cleaned
you
up.
see an adopt a highway sign, like, you know, Gorin's Furniture, say, or something like that, on a state highway, Gorin's Furniture is not allowed to clean up. They are paying for their sign to be there, and they're paying for somebody to clean it up on a state road, because they don't want the liability. So it's basically,
Well, again, it'd be nice to know what on and off ramps, what length of highway, what is it?
Well, we can do that. That's an easy thing to do, is to talk to them specifically about what's going to be done once we decide that we want to do it.
If we
well, I think we need more information before we were to decide this. The other question is, before we go into it, we're talking about a minimum of 150, you know, yeah, over $4,000 for 1 year.
And
Now-
what's our NIPS account? How much is in
Our
there?
NIPS account was originally about 30,000, but 10,000 of that is for the fish. And we've spent some money on the water fill station in Mystic. And we will be spending $1,500 on this art project. So there's definitely money in there, but that's such a short term thing. And even though it does get our name out there, I don't know that
I'd like to talk to another town that's doing it. I think that's another.
well, this person had sent a very nice email, responded to Ruth, and she has her phone number here, and she looks forward to working with us.
Who is she?
I can give you this if you want.
Yeah.
If anybody would like to follow up on this, Bruce, I mean, would
Not a
you
problem.
mind if
I-
somebody else wanted to take it over from here for, just to gather more information for next month? Would you be all right with that?
I was hoping Eileen might do it.
No.
Because
Eileen?
she's working,
No, what,
because she's working on the Adopt a Highway
Yeah,
program
Elaine
anyway.
Elaine
But-
can't
Yeah.
take on anything
No, no.
else right now.
no, like,
Not quite yet, that's right, not quite yet.
Okay,
But, yeah, since we're doing we'll get to our adopt a road program, which is very different from this. Would you like to call, Nancy, this person, or would you, or,
I will, I'll call and get as much information as I can.
okay, all right, okay,
that would be terrific.
okay, all right. Okay, thanks to Meredith and Nancy. Bruce, thank you so much for getting in touch with her and getting that to me so quickly. I really appreciate it.
Sure.
So I'm gonna send that off, the information to Meredith for our records and also to Nancy so she can call Michelle and get more information, and she will report back to us at our next meeting.
Very good.
All right, thank you so much. And then, Missy, has talked with Clint, and she was gonna give a brief report on if she has any updates. Or did you want me to do that?
I can do it.
Okay.
We're still in a wait and see pattern, I think.
Excuse me, are you talking about the ARPA update?
We're,
For
we're
me to
still-
take-
I'm sorry, we're still under NIP. There are
Oh.
a couple different,
Okay,
things we're working on, Meredith, and this, I'm sorry, I skip around sometimes. This, Clint Wright, Wright, he is a blacksmith, and he is working on a fish, a very large metal fish to be installed at the beach. And he unfortunately was
Which
ill.
beach? Which
Esther
beach?
Point.
thank you.
Esther Point Beach. And he became ill and had to take a break. And so the question was he going to be able to continue with it at some point? And I think Missy and I have different information, but Missy did speak with him directly.
So, he's getting better, he's better, but, not confident yet with his diagnosis. So he needs to, not be really gung ho about this.
Yeah.
And we talked about, some possibilities of having a backup, somebody, and of course, I mentioned to him that like famous artists like Picasso, they always had people who did parts of the work and then put it together, and then Picasso put his name on it, and so that this could still be his legacy if somebody else finishes it or does work under his supervision. So we had a really good conversation, and that took a lot of pressure off of him, and that really was my purpose in talking to him, was to get him to not feel that we're whipping him, that we need this fish. Kind of do need it, we want it.
Right, we want it, right?
They want to feel fresh.
Yeah.
So he agreed to that we would have a backup, and we already have somebody in mind. I already spoke to that person, they're willing to come aboard. And, Clint's just got to wrap his head around the idea and then get some more input. They know each other. Yes. Oh,
Yes, it's somebody who works with Clint, and also I know Bruce is very generous. She said he might be able to work on it, but
that's right.
we got to keep you artists a little separate, So we have that in the back of our head too, Bruce.
So we're still
Okay.
talking that the finished product should be in Esther Point by the time the season opens.
Okay, excellent.
which in his mind, or in English means.
Like maybe late spring, early summer,
Thank you, Missy. I
And there's
appreciate
going
that.
to be a base with the.
Yep, there's going to be a base. Yeah, and we're going to have to work on some signage eventually.
More fun.
Get more signs, exactly, but it'll be a sign just.
The teaching.
Yeah, a teaching sign,
I
like,
know.
we're gonna, I think, we're calling them Freddy Fish.
Freddie the fantasy
Freddy the,
fantasy fish.
yeah, and just about how he's a trash eater and,
Real fish can't eat trash,
Right,
they
so-
die, so it's
so-
like a teaching.
yeah, so, yeah, it's a good, it's not gonna be another big sign, don't park here in front of Freddy Fish. It'll be an educational, attractive sign, all right? But, we haven't gotten to that point yet. All right,
Good news.
yes, now we,
I think on the side, is there was a QR code there?
yes,
With the
yeah,
update on how
yeah,
much, traffic is collected and all this.
yeah. You are good with the QR code ideas, that's excellent. Let's move on now to 6.2, ARPA update. The one thing I did was I checked after our last meeting, I just sent an email to Peter Wood, who's the general landscape designer who installed the beautiful landscape at the town hall using ARPA funds. We had talked about irrigation that had to be removed from the original plan. So I asked him, what would the cost be? And his estimate, just off the top of his head, not having a person come and give a written estimate, was $5,000 to $6,000.
Yeah,
I
that's
was
what you told me too, when I
oh,
talked.
yeah, for that one area. So we could spend more money on annuals that need to be watered. So,
And replace it.
yeah. So,
I know a wholesaler who's to install those units.
well, and I haven't spoken with, I don't think that's something that anybody in the town does. It would probably have to be contracted out. I haven't even thought about reaching out to Public Works or something. I just don't know if it's,
And this is
Cindy,
where,
the town will be responsible probably for maintaining it though, right? And also blowing it out and stuff for winter months and all that kind of stuff.
doing
Yeah.
what, Sharon?
You know, in the winter, they're gonna have to blow those lines out, right? So they don't freeze and all that.
Oh,
kind
yeah,
of
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But I don't know that that's, I mean, that's why you plant perennials and shrubs so that you don't have to irrigate them.
Exactly.
And although the stuff, if you were going in the entrance, the side entrance there, everything to the right will have some shade. Everything to the left, where there's 3 very tall, thin trees, and right near where the mailboxes are and such, and the ballot, where you can deposit anything for the town there. That's going to be, well, actually, there might be some shade during the day. It's pretty sunny though, right? It's all sun, and it's also surrounded by pavement, so it's a hot area. So I don't know, Shirley, what do you think? Do you think things will survive without irrigation?
no, not if you're doing it.
Let's not
We're
even
not
talk about the
doing it.
annuals.
What
Well,
he-
that was his,
What he currently planted, there are no annuals,
right,
and they should do fine once established.
right. So after the, season.
I doubt very seriously that the town has a budget for replacing annuals, because they don't have them.
yeah,
They
right,
don't do that.
right.
You can make a CIP request for that. Then I don't think that there's anything wrong with doing that. The worst they can say is no.
Right. I mean,
Present
it
it
would be nice
properly.
to have, it would be nice to have some color there, but I don't know, when I hear that kind of money for that little tiny area for irrigation, I'm like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, that is nothing compared, what other towns do down here in Florida is unbelievable with
Right,
irrigation.
but we're
You know, you
in Connecticut,
Yeah.
and our taxes are fairly high, I think, and I don't know that there's a lot of people who want to get behind that. I don't know.
You
What
don't
about
know,
that?
you don't know, so let's make a CIP for it.
They have to be.
And let's, again, as far as the maintenance goes too, again, we've got up at the police department, all those were broken. So at one time there was irrigation, and we don't know what happened to that. And also in front of the town annex, where we just planted all that stuff, there was irrigation under that too, and I don't think any of that works, right?
Yeah, actually, I'm gonna meet with somebody and have them check that before it gets hot. Although, oh my gosh, planting in the fall is definitely the way to go. I've been up there a couple times. I don't think we've lost anything in the town hall annex planting. It's done really well. But it would be nice to have it. Shirley?
Wood said that there was a place for 3 containers in between where those steel window wells. And that could be something that would be easily taken care of without an irrigation system.
Right.
There's a faucet right
there. Yeah.
Right there. So you could do something like that if you want a lot of color.
Yeah.
I just, annuals are extremely expensive to replace. They're high maintenance. Yeah, they're beautiful, but
Yeah.
you
I just wanted to let you know that's the type of thing that we're talking about if we were talking about irrigation. And once again, there isn't like a time frame on that, like we'd have to decide by such and such a date. Or, yeah, the question is if we live with this for a little while and people started to say, why, you know, residents started to complain or make a comment about, did we need more color? It's such a dramatic improvement versus what it used to be there. So, and then before, then I wanted to ask you, Bruce, still talking about ARPA, is Bruce and I received an email from Kevin Fitzgerald regarding the progress on the sculpture walk. And do you have anything to report on that? And were you able to be in touch with Kevin?
I did talk to Kevin, and told him that we had not had anybody. I have gotten not a lot of response. I've got one artist, one sculptor who's willing to come to Groton. The places where we had anticipated putting things are so in flux, though, because of the projects that the town has put together, that I'm going to have to talk to Mark to see if there's any way that anything can be done before these projects are actually finished, or at least to the point where we know exactly where things can go. So what I'm probably going to have to do, since I'm not getting a lot of response locally, is I'm probably going to have to go out for a call for artists. That's why I want to talk to Mark about that. Maybe we can put something together. That would involve probably maybe $500 to $600 to do it. It has to go out to a bunch of publications and so forth, and they require that you join a certain network to make this happen. I haven't done that yet, but I know that that's what the amount of money is that we would have to spend. So to make a long story short, I'm trying this next couple of weeks to see if I can get a few more people that will donate. I also want to talk to Mark about where these things can go now, because I'd like to get some of this in gear. And I have people that are willing to do it. One guy that's willing to do it, but I don't have a place for it. So
yeah, well, wouldn't it be nice even if you're right. If you're doing a sculpture walk, even if we had one specific place, if we don't know if it's more than one.
Yeah.
What about that town? Wasn't there a local town that was discontinuing their sculpture walk?
Yeah.
And you had talked about maybe purchasing or.
Yeah, that's an old line. Actually, I wish I was there. I would go down there and knock on their door. I can't get them to reply to me with an email or a phone call, but it's old line. And there's a sculpture garden down there, actually right next to where the Lyme Academy of Arts is, which is where I went to school. And so I'd like to get and I know those people. I don't know why you can't get people to respond to you. It's
That was just, Bruce, I just read about this in a local, I don't know, newspaper or magazine, because that was what the boroughs, I think, originally. And now this is not his art, right?
Right. Most of a lot of it is his. It was his art sculpture grounds.
Right.
But there's a lot of other artists, some of whom I have talked to,
but
who had
person
things.
selling them, the person selling, and I was reading about the sale of all of this statuary and sculpture and everything. I think it has happened already.
Yeah.
But I'll try to find that article again.
Yeah, would you? That would be great. Yeah. Maybe
try to
there's
make a contact with them.
because that's what I need.
There's a whole yard full of sculptures.
Yeah,
I can't that we can use. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
So anyway, it's an ongoing project. I've got to talk to Mark. That's my next step, and to see if we can do more to gather some sculptors that are willing to put their pieces here.
All right, excellent, thank you. All right, we got to keep going. Beautification Award. You want me to talk? You want to talk? Go ahead. Missy and I, Missy put together the Nice Beautification Award. She contacted the two people receiving the award. Mazin, who's the owner of this lovely Gulf Station, which all of you should visit, and right on Route 12 in Groton, in front of Stop and Shop, and also Chris Bates, who owns Soundview Designs in Groton. We presented them the award. I have pictures. Sharon put pictures on Facebook, but we have not gotten any more response, like as far as the newspaper or anything like that. And we were feeling a little bit, I was personally, I shouldn't speak for Missy, I was feeling a little badly. I'm like, okay, so if we're just taking a picture and giving them the award and nobody knows about it, what's the use? If we can't get it,
Generate some,
if we can't
publicity.
generate some publicity for these businesses and for people to kind of pay attention and see. So we realized we were there in the fall and it was a cold day, that in the future we will do it and take a beautiful picture of all the lovely things that they've actually done and try to get that. At least we'll have a nice picture to put on our Facebook page. But it seeing that we have a one small paper that's trying to cover everything, we weren't sure how to proceed because it felt a little anticlimactic.
Well, he couldn't be very happy because he was looking forward to the team, but there was so much news over the holidays that something like what we were trying to get in the paper just didn't get in.
Yeah. So,
Well, we could solve that with a permanent sign, 2 of them, where we put it there for the month and then another place gets it. So that all his customers would see it for that.
Great idea.
I have all the beautification signs for Sharon.
right, but like something special,
It would
right?
have to be
Yeah,
a
special,
specific
yeah.
award,
Okay.
this location.
Well, surely, I think we are giving out once a year.
No, we didn't limit it. We can do,
No, but at this point, what the pattern is, we have been 2 businesses for the first time and 2 the second time.
Well, just
Oh,
one.
no, one the first time and 2 this time, but that was 2 different years. So we could even extend the
You
length.
do once a
Yeah.
month, you just take the sign and
leave it there for a month, yeah.
Providing no
Or more, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying, we don't
And
have
then
to
put it-
limit the
put it
time.
somewhere else for the next month, and you can do that for 9 out of 12
It's a
months.
great idea. I like
Yeah.
that a lot.
And
As long as
maybe
nobody-
we could get,
Yeah.
maybe we could get some publicity,
That way.
you know, if we did that, like kind of a new program, and this is what we're done, and this is who received it.
I like that a lot.
With a
I
little,
love the sign, guys.
with a little flamingo on either side, you know how they did the fun where they put flamingos all over people?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, we just need to call attention to it in some way, and we can't really depend on the paper to.
Yeah.
Okay, like a larger sign, something more significant.
Who in our committee does signs?
I love the guys in water. Great sign place.
Where Sharon did our sign? Sharon, what was it called?
Oh, geez, if you didn't ask me,
I know, I put you on the spot.
The one in Waterford, Sharon.
yes.
On Route 85?
Fast signs, right?
Fast signs?
Yeah.
Waterford, yeah.
Yeah, so Sharon's got a close relationship with those people now.
Our logo and then.
Well, I don't even know, it needs to be something like,
It should be our local, but
You
you
just
just
go
got
to
it
them with your
awarded
Ideas, yeah.
with your ideas, and they
Beautification
award.
Right,
this location.
Again, reflect what is on the certificate.
Yeah. but I also would like, it would be nice if it, was a little sturdier, so it wasn't just
Yeah.
like that kind of sign. Do you know if they had other kinds of signs, Sharon?
They have all kind of signs, depends on what you want to spend. Yes,
Yeah,
they do.
okay.
I mean, they're the ones who do with the town of Groton signs, so, you know, the welcome signs and all that. They
Okay. Okay.
The sign that does program.
Yeah, the sign that gets run over and never comes back. I don't
Yep,
think that
yep.
there's been anybody running over our gardens since that either. All right, that's a wonderful idea. Okay.
So what,
But going forward, if you can get a lot of pictures, like maybe the summertime's the time to do them too, right? So you
Yeah.
can take pictures of the gardens because I noticed on Facebook, when you got a lot of gorgeous pictures, you get lots of likes and this and that. But if you just have like a ho-hum picture,
Yeah.
people just
Like,
look over
what's that
it.
all? Yeah, like nobody, we need, what is it called, clickbait, or is that politically incorrect? Sorry. All right, well, I think that, I bet you when, Sharon gets back, we're waiting for you, impatiently, Sharon. Maybe we could work on even the fancy signs.
Sure, yeah, we'll just, I mean, you just need to tell me everybody what you're looking for. I mean, it doesn't have to be designed there. I mean.
Yeah, actually, when we were giving it, we were like realizing, so we didn't have our new logo when we made this award, and like we're giving it, we're like, it doesn't really fit. So
yeah, it needs to be updated.
it needs to be updated. And
Even the font, the recipient said, I can't even read the font that says.
no, you said that and he agreed. So yeah, thanks for throwing me under the bus. No. So the whole thing, I can send you what it says right now, but I think with our kind of background would be nice, and obviously the award being. I would want to make sure though that it was very separate from our sign.
Yeah.
Because people will see our signs and say, oh, beautification. Well, no. I want to make sure it's an award.
Yeah.
And then they would get an award to keep, and then they'd get the sign up. Yeah.
Temporarily.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, you need to let me know what it is you guys want to say,
All right. Okay.
And,
Awesome.
and what kind of, if we do want a little bit of our logo on it in the corner or whatever, but you guys just need to provide me what we want, and I can try to see what I can do.
Okay. Awesome.
I need Sharon's contact.
Okay. All right. Awesome. On to Adopted Road dates. Aline.
Adopted Road, well, I was looking at the April calendar, but I think on the same month as the Earth Day Expo.
Yep.
So I don't know if we want to combine Adopted Road cleanup with the Earth Day Expo day, or if we want to do something separate. And Earth Day Expo is April 21st and 22nd.
No. Yeah, at the library, are you talking about? Yeah, no.
No, it's not April.
It's April 20th.
20th?
From 11 to 4. It's one day.
Oh, it's one day.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know why I got this information. I thought I went on the side. Okay.
Yeah, hopefully it's something different, because that's the information I have is one day.
The 20th is one day. And
but we're totally separate from Earth Day because we're just doing our own, right? Adopted Road.
Well, but the first time we did something cleanup was in conjunction with that day.
Right.
So I just wanted to know if we wanted to combine into things again, or if we wanted to keep it separate.
Okay.
And the days that were available seem to be available without too many other events going on, would be April 12th or the 19th.
Those are Fridays.
And those are Fridays, yes.
And that would be us, our group, and obviously put it out. We would put it out, whatever the date is, on Facebook, saying anybody who would like to come, please join us. But just our Adopted Road. Yeah.
So there are three possible dates: April 12th, April 19th, or April 20th, if we want to do it the same day.
I'd like to see it on the same day as Earth Day. And we have our, the 20th, the Saturday, the 28th.
Earth Day is the 22nd. In the past, when we tried to do a townwide thing, I thought it was difficult to do it on Earth Day. There's gonna be tons of cleanup on that Saturday, I would imagine. They always are. They're at GOSA, they're at Haley Farm, at
So
Lost Point.
for the practical side of it, we may not be able to get the equipment we need, if we do it on that day, because there'll be so many other groups doing.
But they don't use the stuff from the town.
Not all
GOSA
of them.
doesn't.
Well, some do.
If we just reserve it.
We reserve,
what we
yeah.
want.
But yeah, okay. Well, I hadn't thought about that because I'm not here on the 12th, but I'm just one person. But so let's quickly go over to new business. I'm sorry, we haven't finished this Adopt a Road yet, Meredith, but
I'm
on
following.
7.1 Earth Day Expo. So last year was the very first Earth Day Expo at the Groton Public Library. And a number of us went and we had a table and we talked about what we'd done and tried to get some people to be interested. We had some bookmarks and tried to let people know what we were doing. They have been meeting. I have not gone because I felt, it was a fantastic day. And it's going to be on the 20th of April at the Groton Public Library, inside and outside. It will be 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. I felt personally like we were a little bit like a fish out of water. Like beautification, you know, we're trying to enhance the appearance of our community. I personally am really into native plants and things like that, but that isn't the beautification committee. And I felt that some of the stuff there was so fantastic, and it really had to do with earth, saving the earth, recycling and using less energy and conservation. And I felt like that, I don't know, I just kind of felt like our message was lacking. And I wasn't sure.
Just like a drop of water in the bucket.
Yeah.
Every drop.
It helped. Yeah, I didn't
Right.
think it was.
Yeah, but it's
I thought
11.
it was a good thing. I thought it was good
Yeah.
because it was exactly what she's saying. It was just one part,
Yeah.
the whole picture. We could talk about, you know, natives
I
and
think
things
that
like
was
that.
important.
We could have lists of native
Well,
plants.
you know, it's 11 to 4, it's 5 hours, so it's really probably 6 hours because a half an hour to set up and a half an hour to clean up. And I'm going to be in New Mexico. I'm going to get home after being at a memorial service for a family member, and I don't know that I'm going to feel like doing it.
You
So
want to bag it? Is that what you want to do, Cindy? Just forget
it's
about
not
it?
up to me. So I'm throwing it out there because it's 11 to 4. They need an RSVP by the 4th of this month, and
Both of them.
yes, they've been meeting. Said somebody would need to start meeting. I just didn't. I didn't want to go and take on anything at this time. So, but I wanted to put it out there. You felt like it was good. You felt like it was good. It's just I just, and I have some things that we got from some about plastic and water. It was from the aquarium, had fantastic information. So I think we could put something together, but I personally did not feel like personally being there for hours and hours and that kind of stuff. So if it's certainly we can do it, but I just didn't want to be in charge of it.
Well, I think now, a goal at that time was also to see if we could recruit some people to help us with projects downtown.
I never saw that list again. We got.
I have Meredith did a list. I just haven't printed it out.
So we haven't used the resources that we collected.
But the people who signed up on that day, I tried to call them and tried to get in touch with them, and they all said that, oh, it's a great idea, but we don't have time. So,
Yeah, because there were specific people who signed up for
Yeah.
Adopt. We had just
Yeah.
decided to do the Adopt a Highway,
Right,
and so we were trying to get people to sign up for that.
and we had a bunch from the high school. They just were too busy with the other school and all this stuff, and then they were gone. So that didn't produce a lot of people for.
Uh-huh,
But that was one aspect of
uh-huh.
You want to make a motion, whether we do it or not?
Yeah, would anybody like to be in charge of the, participating in the Earth Day Expo at the library, Groton Public Library on the 20th? I'm sure you'd have volunteers. I wouldn't mind doing a piece of it, but I just don't have it in me to organize the whole. So I think it's a wonderful thing, and I think they had a couple hundred people come, so I would certainly suggest that we all attend if we can. But I mean, there's
Skip it for 1 year and
we could skip it and see if we could see where a gap would be.
Right, where we fit in.
Yeah. I mean, the pollinator pathway is going to be there. There's a lot of really good stuff there. I'm sure you'll go.
This is not the cleanup day, then.
No.
This is not the cleanup day, but I'm sure there will be numerous cleanups around
so
that.
To go back.
To
to
go
the cleanup,
back now to
yeah.
the
We have
Dr. Road
2 days,
date.
2 possible dates, April 12th, 19th. And so, we have time to decide, obviously, but we don't have that much time.
Right, we can certainly, if we reach out to Greg or whoever you speak with to get some stuff, I'm sure we could be top of the list to get their bags and.
Right.
I mean, is this monthly?
No,
No.
it's just 1 day.
One day.
One day in the
Of
spring
April.
and 1 day in
Twice
the
a
fall.
year.
Yeah, twice a year, yeah, so it's doing our area, which is down Depot Road,
Right.
and,
It takes a few hours.
Yeah.
Because it's
Hopefully the 19th.
the 19th.
What day?
I believe it's a Friday,
Right.
Friday, the 19th, okay, what time?
Well, we started at 9 o'clock, we started at 10, officially at 10, but I think, few people were there at 9 o'clock. By the time we put the signs up, we distribute everything.
Okay, all right,
And then we can start at 10.
okay, all right.
Was that spring vacation, so the kids helped out?
No, 19th, 19th,
Yeah, last time when you guys did it, I know I wasn't here, I was in California, but
no.
I don't remember how many.
No, we
people-
did it with a few people, but it doesn't really take that long.
I remember you guys had to change it because it was really bad weather, so that changed who could come. I
Right,
remember, okay.
right.
But but you still had, and it's actually fun, like if you have a specific time and then we're talking and picking up trash and,
Exactly.
and then anything big that you find, you just tell them where it is. And,
Exactly.
Bruce likes it higher, so.
Yeah. Yeah, we had some of those.
all right.
Yeah,
All right, so let's say that the Adopt a Road for the Beautification Committee Adopt a Road is on April 19th, 10 to 12-ish. Well,
Yeah.
somebody, and we will have a sign-up sheet at the next meeting,
we haven't
but
signed up.
everybody, if you're available, put that,
Do we meet at the town hall?
yeah,
Yeah,
we met at
very
town hall back.
convenient, town hall is perfectly, white place to be.
And then,
People will stop.
Probably just 2 weeks before, so Sharon, I'll send you a little message to put it on Facebook,
Okay.
okay? Not too early, because people, well, I don't know if people would put it, anybody who wants to come can come, but really it's the committee's responsibility.
Well, I need to know how many, because I need to get the proper gear.
Right,
So,
exactly,
I need, once we have enough people,
yeah,
we
Yeah.
cannot invite too many others.
right, but that's never
They-
been,
they
just
can,
saying it's never been a problem in the past. Yeah, okay, but yeah, if we could get 10, it would be fantastic.
Well,
You people go down there.
Yeah,
No?
then we have a party.
Okay, great.
You have somebody on one side, somebody on the other.
Okay.
You don't need 10 people.
Okay, all right, excellent, okay, all right, excellent.
Okay.
So we'll put it on Facebook just to let people know we are cleaning up trash after all. All right, so we've already gone through Earth Day Expo. 2024 goals, Leanne.
I'm sorry, Cindy, there are 2 things that are not clear to me.
Okay.
With respect to Earth Day, a motion was brought up, but I don't know whether it was actually put to the vote, that the Beautification Committee participate in the Earth Day Expo on April 20th of this year from 11 to 4. And then the question came up, should that be skipped? Is that off the table? Are you skipping that? What was the decision on that?
Yes, we are going to skip it this year. We are going to skip for this year, although I would encourage everybody to attend.
And then you just talked about the Beautification Committee adopt a road on April 19th from 9 to 10 or 9 or 10 a.m. until around noon. Yeah. Is that something you're going to have to do a motion on? I'm not clear on what you're doing.
No, so we, as a committee, we have adopted Depot Road as our road, and so by adopting it, we have to clean it twice a year.
Gotcha.
So our committee members and any friends and family who would like to come need to do that stretch twice a year. So this the first one for 2024 will take place on the 19th.
Okay, gotcha. So that's not that.
You're
there's no
welcome
need
to
for
come,
motion.
honey.
What's that?
You're welcome to come. Pick up trash.
I pick up trash where I live.
Oh yes, well thank you.
Including
Thank
a
you
lot
for your
of
service.
nips. Old folks like nips, apparently.
Oh yes, okay, you live on a nip road. Okay, great. All right, so moving on to 2024 goals, back in the November meeting. Now, actually, when I sent out the questionnaire whether or not to have a December meeting, Leanne specifically wrote 2024 goals, and that has kind of come up, and I think that's a good idea. We had talked about, you know, I would say, should we call it street trees, or do you want to get more specific than that? Trees, Johnson's hardware area.
Identify areas
Okay,
that most need trees from a beautification point of view.
Okay, so let's call that Depot, no, not really Depot Road.
It is, the corner of Depot and
I know,
Hill.
but it's, yeah,
That's a state.
right. Yeah.
Government complex area.
And also, but we also talking about Johnson's, and I believe his name is Bill Johnson, is very receptive to this. It's just, you know, there's some things we have to
We
look
just
at.
need to identify areas.
Yeah,
We can
yeah.
maybe do that by going for a quick drive one day and checking out
Well,
certain
I
spots.
want a couple areas, like, you know, I have found that if you identify things and really pinpoint it, but also we're also going to look at the street tree plan and our master plan, right? Okay, so, and I'll just write other areas to be identified.
Mhm.
Okay.
I also want to include in the goals, the top of 212 and 1, those islands, the
215.
right at the top of the high school, isn't that 215 and Route 1? Those islands that are the kind of the traffic islands.
Yep.
And I spoke today with Robert Knox.
Okay, yep.
And he's transportation general supervisor at Groton. And he said that they will get to actually doing the, you know, that area that's all run down on the outskirts.
The crumbling curbing.
They'll get to do that in the spring.
Right.
That will be done in the spring. And I said, well, does it have to be painted yellow? And he said, that's another department that does painting. So there's two departments to deal with that. But we're going to work together, you know. It's not high priority for him, those islands. But he said that we are in charge of the plant. So if we would like to plant things there, whether it's ground cover, it'd just be ground cover, you know, something that's low maintenance, they can do the weeding. That's part of their job. But we would have to talk to them about, like, not just using a weed whacker, because that's really what they're accustomed to doing. So, but we'll work on that. He said, really, this is the last thing on his priority list. He's got so many other things to work on, but he understands that people are complaining about this area, that it's a high traffic, high site area. So he's going to work with us on that. So, you know, we're going to continue to talk. In the spring, he's going to actually do the
curbing.
there.
Yeah.
And he said that we could plant things there, and he could even work on getting a traffic control, and perhaps we could do it on the weekend, you know, maybe early in the morning and at a time that's not
Really?
I have
Yeah.
never been told that in my
Yeah.
life.
What?
Mark Berry told me that.
Absolutely not. Yeah.
Yeah.
No one can work that
Doing this.
area unless the police are there because it's a safety issue.
He said he would help us with traffic control, that, you know, it has to be, we have to kind of do it when it's there, but it's convenient for them. We kind of have to go along with their time frame when it's good for them. But he said, yes, he could perhaps help with traffic control and that weeding is a part of their responsibilities. But as for the plantings, it is right. It's all up to you. You guys are in charge of the plants. So we could talk about whether we want, you know, things that are good for the environment, certain plants, low, very low things. Thing is ground covers, loaded with
Weeds, I can't even imagine.
I just need to take a look at it. I haven't really
Yeah.
looked in depth. That, you know, we'll
Yeah.
work together
Okay.
and we'll try.
Willing to do the weeding. I mean,
Well,
by
weeding, they come over and run over
No,
the
well-
entire thing.
He said we could talk. This.
Right,
He said there is a chance.
Wow, that's great.
So I've tried so many times since the November meeting, he's totally ignored emails, phone calls. So if you're.
Kudos to you.
Oh.
It was a very good conversation.
Well,
No, you know,
I got his number from Sharon, and Sharon had very good results with him also. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Okay,
Wow.
what other goals are we talking about? We are talking about trees, adding new trees.
Well, this should be a goal. This project should be one of our goals, to work on those,
Okay.
islands.
That's just a state thing, so I'm trepidatious, just saying.
Plantings.
Yeah.
Those are
Don't be
plantings.
judgmental.
Yeah.
We're throwing out ideas.
Yeah.
The sign, the main sign coming into town on 117 and Route 1, please, can we get that done?
We have
That's what
absolutely no control over that,
That's not our
unfortunately.
goal. That's just,
Our goal is planting in the area. right?
Yep. But we don't have anything to do with the
town
sign.
has control of the sign.
Yeah.
Well, we can
The only thing is, so
get along.
you can ask when it might be done. I do have some good news is that, remember the person we worked with for quite a bit, Tabitha Harkin there? She's now Tabitha Wilson. She's been married. She's now working for the Parks and Rec.
Right.
And so we might be able to.
around it.
So she was the one who originally got that whole thing moving, but I have heard, I believe I talked with Lisa Hilton about it a couple months ago, and she told me the reason why it was taking so long, I believe because the town council had to approve some changes to it, because I think there was like, you know how they call the wayfinding signs? And it just said town hall, police department. I think there was some complaint about that it should be encompassing more. And so there might have been some changes. My memory is not the best right now. 'Cause I had spoken with her about it though. And so there was a reason that it was taking a long time.
Good.
I don't know.
Where info is better, actually.
I don't know if there's any urgency to it or not. It was said to only have it there for less than a year. Certainly, I will ask her about the sign. And see if she can, because, you know, she knows all the people.
So we just voted on doing the, trash compactor, so that should be one of our goals.
Yep.
That should be on our goal.
But that actually is gonna have anything to do with
on
that.
our goal. Yeah.
We are going to say, yes, we will get the money to you,
Yeah.
but if they have success, it might be nice, you know, we might be able to follow on their coattails for the ones downtown Mystic. That would be a little more though, because it's a double. They have the trash and the.
Okay, so complete the fish, that's definitely one of our
Oh,
goals.
yes,
That's
yes,
complete the
yes,
fish,
yes.
And a educational sign that goes along with it.
I like the QR code.
And the QR code,
The way
yeah.
we go,
Yeah.
right.
One of these days, there will be a.
Okay, right, exactly.
Somewhere.
No, that's an excellent idea, and that's because people are gonna be really looking at that. Anything else that, I mean, obviously, we can add to this list anytime.
Calvin Burrows, Cindy, you want to talk about that?
Oh, yes. are there, hold on one second. I just wanted to reiterate, when we're talking about goals, I wanted to read our mission statement, which we all agreed upon, to enhance the appearance of our communities through the addition of art and landscape projects that foster economic growth in Groton. And that is one of the reasons that I think we're feeling, I don't want to spend a ton of time talking about trash, right, other than our Adopt a Road program and the things we do for NIPS, which is really a short-term thing. I don't think we'll be receiving funds from NIPS in the future. But you get a lot of, people making comments to you, people making comments to me. I don't know about the rest of the committee members. Lots of people talking about picking up trash. I finally had to let somebody know that's not our directive. We certainly want to participate in it. We want to support it, but we are not responsible for picking up trash in the entire town. It's just not something that 5 committee members and very dedicated handful of volunteers can do. So I think if anybody wants to help organize a group to take care of a certain, if anybody wants to pick up trash, I know you're doing that. I do it too when I'm out walking my dog. I don't have
It's not on our goal list, that's what you're saying.
Well, direct them to Adopt Room.
Yes,
If they're
exactly.
bringing this to you,
Yeah,
give them a place to
Yeah.
take it.
yeah.
Where would you like to volunteer to adopt?
Where? Yeah, and then send them to Arlene.
No, but maybe we can, highlight people who are doing it, on our Facebook page and encourage this way to more people to get involved. And, because.
Do a story about a group.
Yeah, exactly. If the newspaper don't want to do it, then we can do it in house.
Oh, yeah, so anybody who sees somebody, we gotta get a picture of you out there.
Exactly, we have to
You
stop
and
with
me
people
out there.
doing it,
Me and the dog.
No, it's like, oh, Jim, after a hard weekend, this bag of sniffs. My fitness teacher. I'm sorry. We gotta finish this up. The last thing before we get to I want to go over this the beautification members contact list. Leanne and a number of us. I have everybody's contact information. I have everybody's phone number, address, probably social security number, although probably not. So I just Leanne does not have that. Shirley didn't have that information.
I don't know.
So anybody who fills out this beautification contact list here, and I guess I will ask you, Bruce, I have that information, and Sharon, I have your information. If I put this down here and print it up, I want permission to give our fellow members each other's contact information.
You have my permission.
Okay, Sharon. Bruce, how about you?
He stepped away.
He's filling his wine bottle. Or wine glass. Bruce?
Yes.
I just spoke badly of you. I'm sorry. I said you were getting a wine refilled, and actually I was lying because you didn't come in with a glass of wine in your hand. I'm just envious. I'm doing a beautification contact list. I have everybody's information. Not everybody else does. Is it all right if I put your contact information and give it to our fellow members and volunteers?
Sure. No problem.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Now,
Back to goals, though. You gotta get back to goals.
well, while you're thinking about goals, because Sharon's been here a long time and so has Meredith taking notes, she's probably got writer's cramp. I wanted to talk about the Calvin Burrows. There was a meeting. Did you attend that, Ellie?
Jim and
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
Sharon had done a lot of
Huh?
sending us the information. So who wants to talk about that?
Well, just.
This is the Calvin Burrows, Burrows Field, Meredith in Groton, right near where the train.
It's right where the train bridge always
Yeah,
floods
the
out.
train bridge, where I flooded my car at one point. That is, so who wants to give a short introduction?
Jim is going to.
Okay.
It was really
the Burroughs Field was a small part of it. Chloe, I don't know her last name, is the daughter of the person, it was through Groton Little League.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the people were there for a Groton Little League meeting.
Right.
Chloe, young lady, high school age, is interested in getting a group of people together from the Little League to volunteer at different things.
Okay.
And there was different groups of people that do the Race Across America. There's different road race people. She doesn't have a list currently, but they were, again, it was ground floor. I said, if you have a meeting, you can tell me how many kids. If we're talking, if we're picking up trash, you really need to be 16 or above to safely do it. But if you're talking to small Little League, you're starting at 5 years old. So we need to know the age group that she's dealing with. But, and that's where she said, and one of our ideas is, when you guys do the landscaping on the hill, and we said, she said, isn't that through you guys at Beautification? We said, no, it's going to be up. I said, I suggest you, I said, Rachel Franco's on that group of people. I said, ask her that here's the contact people at the parks. You need to contact them because we don't want to take on the public works project.
Mm-hmm.
That's not us. Well, we aren't and we don't want to. So I said, I suggest it can be a good project for you guys to work on since you guys are, it's your
Area,
ballpark.
yeah.
But we don't push together that type of project.
Uh-huh.
But we do plannings, we do whatnot. We'll be more than happy to give you a call to try to get volunteers. But we aren't spearheading
The project.
the project.
Or funding the project.
And they, again, she looked at me with kind of big eyes, and I said, I'm not trying to put pressure on you, but it's not part of our stuff. And Rachel can probably direct you at the right place. Again, I think her husband was even.
Yes, that requires engineering.
No, and that's a nightmare. And the reason they're looking at it, because they own the house on the other side of that road. And they park on the road, so they can see. So it's kind of a political thing, and it's not going to be cheap to do that. So I said, after the town says,
You got cut off though.
sorry,
What, the reason they're interested in doing something there,
is looking for their,
wasn't it they were having kids going,
well,
going down the hill or?
they were having kids rolling down the hill, but there's also road is getting eaten away. And again, they're hoping to host different baseball tournaments. They have bigger hopes of what that field will be.
Mhm.
But I said, that's not something that we're interested in taking over.
Uh-huh.
And because we're the wrong town committee interested, we said that could be recreation or whatever. But and she said, well, we'll be happy to help you plan. I said, that's after this whole project is done. And they mentioned, well, we have the ARPA money for the bathrooms.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, can we add that? I said, that's another thing that we aren't.
Yeah, we're just a volunteer committee.
Yeah.
You receive some funds.
Well, it was just the first meeting, for her to present her ideas, and, they were going to meet twice a month, to start with. I don't know if it's going to be visible for them. The age group was something like 4 to 16 or 17 years old.
Well,
and, I mean, she had a lot of different ideas. They had a wreath. They were laying wreaths on gravestones somewhere.
Oh,
They were doing all kinds of different
Okay.
It's a wreath across America, but,
Right,
but
right.
they were, again, she didn't have a set
Right.
item of projects. She didn't have a set group of, and I couldn't get if she is interested in setting up a townwide thing, if it was just the families from the Groton Little League.
But
So,
the only thing that
or a church group.
they were asking for was that.
Yes, they were talking
But-
about the possible.
Yeah.
But that's a major deterrent. Yeah.
Well, that's what Jim told us, that we were
Yeah.
not.
Sharon, did you have anything to add?
No, well, Erica had said that they showed up a couple of years ago, right, at
Yes,
the,
they did.
Yeah. and they gave us the whole presentation of what they wanted.
And Rachel had also mentioned that to me quite a while ago also.
Right, so this is just through Messenger that I was messenger, and she said what they would really want is to see what could be done, because they'd like to have like a memorial garden, and also have one, a pollinator garden with butterflies and that type of thing, that the kids could manage, that they could be part of. And so after I talked to you, Cindy, I told her what we'll do is we'll meet with you in the spring, and you said we'd also meet with Mark as well, perhaps.
Yep.
To just look at it, to see what their vision is, what our responsibilities are, what Park's responsibilities are, and if it can even be done. So that's kind of where it ended with me. I said, let's, we'll just meet in the spring, because you wanted to see what kind of plants were there. You said you think there's some native plants there and stuff already. So that's the way I left it with her. I didn't want to just say no, or, bye-bye.
Exactly.
Let's get the parties and see if Mark could help with I don't even know what they're looking for. I'm blind here, so.
Well, the first time I looked, I thought, are they kidding me? I mean, it's a sloped area, and what a hot mess. I thought of kerosene, and we're talking thousands and thousands of dollars. Then I went again after my emphasis became native plants, and there's a ton of native asters in there, which aren't the most beautiful, but there's some nasty roses, and there's beginnings of mugwort, which we hate. It's a very bad invasive weed. And I thought, what if we could get out the invasives and just start planting some native perennials?
How about just seed?
Well,
Wildflower. It won't change.
Well, I don't know that's what they want. I don't know, but what I've learned about the native plants is as soon as you start disturbing the soil, that's when all the invasive plants come in, and they will grow faster than anything. We, often will grow faster. It's not, without terracing and a lot of money, there's not really any way to, you could certainly plant some wildflowers, possibly even seeds. But I'm not an expert on seeds by any stretch. It would be nice to remove along the road the mugwort. But it is a significant, if you wanted to do something other than that, it either would kind of be a native plant, kind of a no maintenance, or a huge project, kind of how I saw it.
Right, and I agree, and I think but I think she's come to us quite a few times. I think we need to, in May, get the right people, look at it and explain to her why we can't do it. Or explain
what could be done. Could we remove mugwort and plant something along the roadway? Maybe maybe we could even get a donation from someplace. I mean, I'd love for children to learn about feeding nature and increasing biodiversity, especially when there's asphalt all around there, and the grass of the field doesn't supply anything to any native wildlife. So I don't want to be discouraging, but I don't know if they really have an idea of what they'd like to do, and anything of significance where people walk around and look at butterflies and plants and try to identify them, and that would be challenging.
Well, the other thing is, if there is work that's going to happen for the banquet, and there is public work doing what they need to do, going now and suggesting planting may not be relevant when the work is done, because there may be less space available, and maybe something.
I did mention it to Mark yesterday, and he didn't see the connection between the work on the building and the work on the exterior, like planting. I don't think they do anything there although I don't know, would you lay stuff
No.
down? I don't think you want to disturb that soil a whole lot.
I think we have a tiger mom and the parents with the Little League that have a vision, a big vision for what
Uh-huh.
they would like to see on the hill.
Okay.
And we have a second one, Zoe offering to try to coordinate the kids, which hasn't officially been kicked off.
Yeah.
And we have a bunch of unknowns now.
Yeah.
Right.
And her thing is, well, if we plant, I can bring people to plant.
Right.
Well, that's why I said we have,
Very simplistic. You know, people think that you just plant some plants, but
we have two groups, the head of the Little League and the Tiger Mom and Tiger Dads that would like a memorial garden area and whatnot, versus Zoe that just says, yeah, I can get some kids together and we can do this.
Okay.
And again, being a parent with different church groups, it's hard to get kids, all of our kids are busy, and you plan a date and then nobody shows up. So I think we need to, and I don't know if we want to get Rachel involved on if she sees that as a priority with it, because Mark needs to set a priority to say, do we even want to go as far as maybe putting some plants temporarily in there versus what they're doing Sutton Park, and that's a priority right now.
yeah, and that serves, that's a park and it's meant for people to
And some, versus Burroughs Field, which is the boat ramp plus the ball field.
Yeah.
Which is another small group. So I think before we need to stick our neck out too much, we need to get, whether it's Public Works or Park and Rec, because again, part of their vision is we need to decide if they're worried about the road up there, because part of theirs was, well, we need to firm the hill because the roads won't fall into it. Well, they're looking into that because their house is right there and that's the exit to the parking lot.
Right, it's exit to the parking lot, which means it's really under the town control.
Yes, so,
Luckily, I do have a landscaper who's reached out who was wondering if there's a project, and I realized I couldn't think of anything right away, and I thought, oh, I'm gonna have him go look at that. And maybe he'll have an idea, because he's a professional. And maybe he'll be like, oh, well, we could just do this and that to make it look
Well, the
nicer.
thing is there any long-term projects, from the town in that area? What is the town planning for that? If there is an issue, if there is a concern, and people have voiced concern, are they, having that on their radar, and when,
I think the town will look at flooding under the railroad bridge before they worry about beautifying a hill.
I think it would be extremely low on their list, because the last thing they want is any kind of maintenance. So, you know, maybe we could plant a few native plants in there, but anything above and beyond that, I don't see.
So here's the thing, because this all came through Facebook, right? So I think what we need to do is, again, just a simple meeting in May or whatever, and just let her know that this, whether it's beyond anything we can do, or we can maybe do a little something for you, so she understands what, whose responsibilities are what, because otherwise the questions are gonna keep coming through Facebook saying, well, what's going on? You guys forget about us, you know?
And I'll see if, you know, I'll talk to the landscaper and have him go by there, and I'll obviously have a lot of things to talk to Mark about. And then I did bring it up yesterday, but I didn't really, I just asked him if he talked with anyone, if it had come up to him, and he didn't. I don't think he thought of anything, and he definitely didn't see working on the building, because we're talking about working on the building, maybe something else could be done there, but he saw them as two totally separate entities. Anyways, does anybody have, does anybody have any more goals that I can write down, because we are almost 2 hours in, and I try to usually, Meredith, keep this to an hour, but this is our first meeting since November, so.
I had a question. I mean, it may not be a goal, but we started working on this Avery project.
Yes,
The intersection one.
yes.
And,
I missed the AV part.
I
very
was
messy.
driving down the road and looked, and I couldn't figure out where blueberries were, where azaleas were.
So it just bloomed this year.
They did.
Yes.
Oh, no, in the springtime.
Yeah, springtime.
But right now, I can't find any, I can't visually see any
Right.
of that.
Yeah.
And it looks pretty messy. So I said, okay, we did have an attempt at
Yeah.
working on.
Yeah.
Is that still on our?
Well, I would like to go and just clean up, and like there was a branch there that, you know, I would love to do that.
I think we could.
And maybe work with the people who have what is that?
Yeah,
Yeah, the Avery Memorial, yeah.
Yeah.
They were very happy when we.
Another quick goal would be,
Excuse me?
Yes?
I could not understand what Eileen was saying in terms of location, what she was concerned about. I didn't
Okay.
get that.
We call it the Avery Parklet, and it is right next door to the Avery Memorial on Pequannock Road.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so it's opposite CVS, and it's a town-owned property that's been it's wetlands, and it hasn't been well maintained, and sometimes it's a little messy looking. It is. Yep.
so another goal, just to quickly write
Okay.
down, so we continue what we're doing every year, is to give out the beautification award to whether it's 2 to 4 people, and to also now make the sign for the, so that's our goal. That should be on our list of what we can accomplish.
Okay. All right. That can be ongoing, but that gives us some really good ideas, especially the trees. Where can we put new trees? I personally would like to continue work on the next third of the planted area. It's not planted yet. The mulched area in front of the annex.
That should be finished.
Yeah. I don't know that we can finish it because doing a third of it just about killed us, but I think we could do another third.
Well, it should be on the goal, to finish it, whether it's this year or next year. It's a goal. It's a goal, yeah.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else, Sharon?
No,
I'm so sorry we can't see you.
that's okay.
Your hair better be done in March because you will be on camera. Our next meeting is March 7th. It will be here at the Town Hall Annex at 6:30 p.m. It will be a hybrid meeting, so those who need to attend virtually are welcome. And thank you all for attending. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Bruce, so moved by Bruce McDermott. Is there a second? All in favor?
Who was the
Aye.
second?
Bruce.
Who was the second?
Oh, Nancy, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Nancy. And we all
Nancy,
voted unanimously to adjourn the meeting at 8:23 p.m.
Thank you.
Thank you all. So good to see you, Bruce. So good to see
Thank
you.
you. Good to see all you guys.
Bye.
too.
Bye, everybody.
And
Bye.
we'll see you next month.
Absolutely.
All right, Meredith, expect some stuff from me.
Very good. Thank you
Very
so
good.
much.
Okay, thank
would
you
you-
so much.
Could you
Bye-bye.
do me a favor, Nancy, Cindy?
Uh-huh.
Could you send me a copy of the mission statement? I tried to write it down. I couldn't get it down that fast.
Okay, certainly, absolutely.
Thanks. All right.
Okay,
Bye.
bye. Oh, you know what? Do you have a copy of the agenda?
Yes, it was emailed to me.
At the very top of the agenda, it says mission statement above call to order.
Oh, I
Yeah.
should take my glasses off. I would
So
do
that's
better.
okay, it's very small.
It is.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, you're very welcome. Thank you. Nice to see you. Bye. All right. Could you go slightly to the right so I can, there we go. And